we're going to talk about how CGC is a bunch of idiots, and I have a good reason why. They've definitely screwed up here. And now this is the two books I'm going to talk about I don't have on hand anymore. So this is just kind of a placeholder. I don't have any great about this copy or their handling and grading of this book. But I would tell you how they messed up big time. And until then, follow me there on Facebook and Instagram for more daily content. More of that at the end. Drop a little like, drop a subscription if you haven't already. We're going to talk about, so there's a couple of books that the Flyers handed out. The hockey team handed out. Some of them were actually given them out. Some of them were not. This book was not given out by the Flyers. The book was never given out. Yet, we still got our hands on 2 copies. And in that, the interiors of the comic was damaged. Now, being a reprint, it's very easy to replace the interiors of the comic. Very easy, right? So, having replaced the interiors of the comic, the staples did not match on the same side. Like, the staples are here on a comic. They were offset a little bit. So the cover had additional staple holes. It had ticks, had all kinds of spine damage, had wrinkles. Both copies of this book were low grade. They probably should have been rejected by CGC. Now, they still gave it a blue label, as you can see. And they gave them way higher. Again, mind you, the interiors of the book kind of clearly, and again, it's a reprint of a book, and it's a comic that CGC had never handled before because it was not given out. At the time, these were the only 2 on the census. I haven't double-checked. I know some more have leaked out. I don't know if any of them made it to CGC or not. But I do know this one particular thing, and that's the interiors of this comic do not match. And there's literal holes on the cover that don't match. Now, that right away should have set off some red flags for CGC, but I don't even know if they saw the holes because they gave the 2 books a 9.4 and an 8.5. That's insane. Anything in the 9s or the 8s, way too high. Way too high. I mean, these books, they're for a modern book, they might as well be 2.0s. They're wrecked. There's holes on the cover. There's a lot of staple wear and pull. There is ticks all over. There's wear. There's wrinkles on the cover. The interior is not great. I mean, it's printed on terrible paper. They're low-grade copies. CGC did not catch the fact that they are not the same book as they are on the inside because the staples didn't match. There's new staple holes on the cover. That's insane. That there's manufactured staples pushed through the cover and into the interiors of a book that doesn't technically match the cover. And again, the original book that was never handed out, the interiors, I believe, is the same. It's a reprint of like a Spidey's Amazing Stories, like kids comic. I decided not to hand out the book for whatever reason. They'd called some flack before for the last book they handed out. They started handing out. They stopped handing out because it was Avengers 40 or whatever it was, first Red Panther, and you open it up, it's like Thane's got a scalpel and some chicks like tied up on a chair in like a bikini or something. And so they got a little flack for that, kidding about the kids and stuff. So with all that flack in the air, they decided not to hand out the second one, and you had to talk to your rep to actually get it at the time. You had to hound your rep to get it at the time. But then again, and mind you, so an 8.5 and a 9.4. In the same submission, a first Carnage was sent out. In that same submission, probably same grader, that book came back at a 9.4. Now, you're telling me that this Carnage is in the same shape and the same grade as this Flyers giveaway ASM comic. That's nuts to me. That alone, being in the same submission, presumably the same grader, having touched both these comics, you should look at the 2 of these and instantly recognize one not to be the same grade as the other. I mean, one, again, I'm not arguing that a 9.4 was harsh or whatever. I don't even remember. I don't remember. But I do remember looking at the video that I took of that Carnage and the photos I took of that Carnage. It is not an equivalent grade to the Flyers comic. That's for sure. Now, I just wanted to point this out just because, it proves many people's theories on that CGC might not know what they're doing sometimes. They're definitely mishandling stuff. I've had big books get their staples popped firsthand. I've had big books that were sent and with intact covers and returned with detached covers. I've had all kinds of stuff happen. I've had, mislabelings and a million different things happen firsthand. So, and of course, you're handling thousands and thousands and thousands of comics every day, pretty much. You're gonna have some problems. It's just gonna happen. It's a game of numbers. But something like this, I thought was pretty funny, and it was worthy of a video because it's so ridiculous. I mean, again, that's a 9.4. In what plane is that a 9.4? If that's a 9.4, this is a 9.4. This is an equivalent comic, grade-wise, to that Flyers issue. So if I can send this to get a 9.4, I will do a backflip. So CGC, start calling these 9.4s. Because, man, I'd be making some money if this was 9.4. But there's neither here nor there. If you want to already follow me here on Facebook, Instagram for more daily content. Have you had any CGC mess-ups? Anything, you thought was, interesting that CGC did to your books or did to your buddies' books or anything you've seen firsthand via CGC, drop it down in the comments below. And, of course, drop a subscription, drop a like, comment about whatever. Did you get this Flyers comic? Let me know down below. Let's have a conversation about it. Follow me on Facebook and Instagram for more daily content. On YouTube, I put up YouTube shorts every single day, multiple times a day of new news and announcements and the new comics every week and all kinds of stuff like that. And then, Instagram and Facebook, I do a series called Tales from the Hunt where I talk about going out looking for the books and toys and stuff like that. People I ran into, stuff I didn't buy, stuff I saw, stories I have, fun stuff like that. So that's all linked down in the description. Until next time, peace.